into the next few slides. Environmental considerations. A refrigerant's ozone depletion potential, ODP, measures its ability to destroy the ozone in the stratosphere. Okay. These are refrigerants like R12, R22. Okay. They had ozone depletion um, potential. Okay. Due to a chlorine gas. There was chlorine in the gas. Okay. So CFCs and HCFCs deplete the ozone rapidly. HFCs, like 410A, HFOs, and HFC HFO blends do not contain chlorine, will not deplete the ozone, but they do contribute to global warming potential by trapping heat. Okay, so current refrigerants used in HVAC have been accused of driving up greenhouse gas emissions, warming the planet. Okay, so there's a lot of talk about this. Okay, and it is driving some of our changes here. They are saying the energy required for air conditioning and heating is likely to triple by the year 2050. Okay, which is really not that far off. Okay, so that's the equivalent of 10 new air conditioning units to be sold every second for the next 30 years. Okay, um, that's a lot. Okay, that is a lot. Okay, when you really think about those numbers, 10 air conditioning units every second of the day for the next 30 years. So, what is global warming potential, or GWP? It's a relative measure of how much heat greenhouse gas traps in the atmosphere. Mainly, we think of warming temperatures of oceans and the atmosphere when we think of global warming. Okay. Greenhouse gases warm our planet by absorbing energy, and they also slow down the rate at which energy dissipates. Effectively, they're an insulator. And if you think about it, it makes a lot of sense. What's one of the best insulators out there? Air, which is a gas. Okay. Each greenhouse gas measured is compared to CO2 and typically done over a certain time frame, anywhere from 5 to 100 years. So you can see on this chart here, it actually shows 20 years. Okay. CO2, carbon dioxide, is our number one. That's kind of like the baseline. And then it goes through these other various gases, okay, and shows you the global warming potential of those gases, okay. So there's a lot of reasons why some of these gases could be released into the atmosphere. So if you're looking at each gas, the global warming potential, and scientists and policymakers can compare emissions reduction strategies across sectors and gases. So this is really a chart that's used by, policymakers and scientists to kind of evaluate what is happening in our real world. Okay. Um, and so you see HFCs, okay, are on here. They've got a pretty high global warming potential. So let's talk a little bit about the refrigerant regulation history. Okay. R12 is a great refrigerant. Okay. Um, Problem is there's ozone depletion and global warming potential associated with it. Okay. So that was phased out. You can see the transitions here as you go through the years from R12 to R22 to R410A. Okay, R22 had a lower ozone depletion potential, but still had high global warming. But at this time frame in the world, we were concerned with the ozone and the hole in the ozone and trying to get that back to a point that is really safe because the ozone is protection for the planet. 410A, no ozone depletion potential. That's great, but high global warming, right? So, and then of course, now we're in this area. We're approaching this area here. R32, R454B, no ozone depletion and a low global warming potential. Okay. And you can see down here at the bottom, these previous refrigerants were A1, Okay, and I'll get more into the classifications here a little bit, and then A2L now for these. So switching from 410A to a lower GWP refrigerant has been a bit more complicated due to lack of available options that didn't require refrigerant with higher flame propagation. Okay, so what you're going to see over the next, after the next couple slides is typically when you go from high GWP to low GWP, the trade-off, and that's our industry, right? Everything comes with a trade-off. The trade-off is the refrigerant becomes a little more flammable. Okay. um, Not really that big a deal, but it is and the nature of the beast. Okay.